Adding fractions. To add fractions, the denominator of the fractions needs to be the same. So here's an example. A quarter plus a half. I can't add them together because the two fractions, the quarters and the halves, are different sizes. They're different amounts of the cake. So I need to make them into fractions that have the same denominator. So I pick a number that 4 and 2 both go into, and I'm going to choose 4. So I write 4 here and 4 here as the denominators. For the first fraction, I don't need to change anything because it's already in quarters. So I'll leave that as 1/4. So 1/4 stays 1/4. For the second fraction, I need to alter the fraction into a new fraction that's worth the same amount of cake. So let's have a look. To get from 2 to 4, I need to multiply by 2. So I multiplied that by 2. But I also need to do that to the top or the numerator, otherwise the fraction isn't worth the same as anymore. So a half is equivalent to 2/4. Now I can add them together. 1/4 plus 2/4 is 3/4. You notice you do not add the denominator when you're adding fractions. You only add the numerators, the top numbers. And you have to make sure that they've got the same denominator before you add them. Here are some questions for you to have a go at. What you should do is pause the video so you can still see the questions. When you finish doing the questions, start the video again and I'll show you the answers that I got. So just pause the video now and try it yourself. Here are the answers to the questions. So if you're adding 3/6 plus 4/3, you get 11/6, etc. What you should do now is stop the video, have a look and see if you've got the right answers. If you haven't, then continue to watch the video to see how I worked them out. Let's work out the answers. For the first equation, the common denominator for both of these fractions is 6. So I'm going to change them into sixths. The first equation is already in sixths, so I can leave that as 3/6. The second one, I need to multiply both numbers by 2 because 3 2s are 6. So that means the top number multiplied by 2, the 4 times 2, the numerator by 2 is 8. Then I can add them together and you get 11/6. That's an improper fraction, but that's okay for now. In the second question, we've got 2/10 plus 5/20. The lowest common denominator for that is 20. The second fraction is already 20ths, so that can stay as 5. The first fraction, 10 multiplies by 2 to make 20. 2 multiplied by 2 makes 4. So if the answer for that one is 4 plus 5 is 9/20. In the next one, 4 and 5, the lowest common denominator for that is 20, so I'm changing them both into 20ths. 5 goes into 24 times, so 4 times 3 is 12. 4 goes into 20 5 times. 5 times 1 is 5. So then if I add 12 plus 5, I get 17/20. For the last question, the lowest common denominator for both fractions is 12. They both go into 12. So the second one is already in 12ths, so I'll leave that as 1/12. The first fraction needs to be changed. 6 goes into 12 2 times. 2 5s are 10. So we're multiplying both of these numbers by 2 to make them into 12ths. Now I can add them because they have the same size pieces. They're both 12ths. So 10 plus 1 is 11/12.